lang solution. Excuse me. So, let's start.
So, meron kasi tayong human resource at saka human behavior. Si human resource, siya yung nangangalaga.
Visible na po ba ang screen ko? Nakikita na po ba? Okay.
Samantalang si human behavior, yan
so, let's start.
And benefits kapag
so, ang discussion natin is buoyancy. So, this is simply the continuation of what we have discussed last midterm. So, fluid dynamics. So, ibig sabihin, fluid at rest. So, pag sinabi kasi nating buoyancy, kasunod siya ng density. Bakit? The density, syempre, yan yung sunod-sunod ng liquid. However, yung buoyancy naman, that affects whether an object would float or sink. Object naman po yung pinag-uusapan natin. So, kung yan ay lulutang or lulubog. Kasi hindi lang po density ang kailangan din nating i-take into consideration when we are having buoyancy. So, kailangan pa rin natin i-take into consideration yung force or yung mass ng object. So, katulad dun sa ating ginawa yesterday, sa inyong density tower, meaning, yung part 1 kasi nung ginawa yung density tower, is sinunod-sunod nyo yung 10 liquid. So, that is yung pag-arrange ng liquid in terms of density. And then, yung paglalagay natin ng ating mga object, yung 5 object na nilagay ninyo, is dyan naman papasok ang tinatawag nating buoyancy. Lumutang ba siya dito sa liquid na to? Lumubog ba siya? 25% ba ng object ay lumutang? 25% ba ng liquid ng object ay lumubog? So, siya ba ay fully submerged, etc., etc. So, yan po yung nakaka-apekto sa buoyancy. Okay? So, depende po yan sa inyong magiging explanation pagdating ng inyong paper. So, buoyancy is the upward net force of object within a liquid. Occurs because pressure in a fluid increase with depth. Since the bottom is deeper, more force is pushing up than force. More force is pushing up than force on the pushing bottom. Net upward force pushing object up. So, ibig sabihin, alin ba yung buoyancy? Always remember that buoyancy or the buoyant force, also known as the buoyant force, is the force going up or arrow up. Kasi yung force pababa, yun naman yung force based on the weight of the object. Because the weight of the object, di ba, is mass times gravity. So, yun naman yung pababa, yun naman yung weight ng object. And always remember, syempre, on the theory of equilibrium, for a while lang, may pinatawag lang kami faculty. Wait lang.
Okay, yung sunod dito is the batch flow.
Pinatawag lang po kami ng faculty. Sorry. Okay, let's continue.
For a large manufacturer.
So, syempre, alam naman natin that ang unit ng force is Newton. So, the buoyant force, so meron tayong tinatawag na Archimedes principle. So, the buoyant force of an object is equal to the weight of the fluid displaced by the object. So, dito, yung buoyant force, or yun nga, yung ating F sub B is equal to F sub W, or yung weight of the fluid, which is equal to the mass times gravity. And by formula natin ang density, our density is mass over volume. So, if we're going to transpose, we could say that mass is density times volume. So, yung density times volume, isa-substitute natin dito sa mass na to. So, we could say that the buoyant force or the weight force displaced by the fluid is equal to the density times volume times gravity. So, ito na yan. Buoyant force is density of the fluid times gravity times the volume submerged. Yun yung part na naka-submerge lang. Okay? Kaya siya V-submerged. Yun lang po yung volume na submerge or proportionate doon sa liquid. Okay? So, yan din yung sinabi natin kanina, yung principle ng Archimedes. So, sige, basahin na lang natin. Para buoyancy is the upward force of that an object feels from the water and when compared to the weight of the object. It is what makes the object float, sink, or remain neutrally buoyant in the water. Kasi syempre, pwedeng lulutang yan, pwedeng sobrang lubog yan, or neutral sa gitna lang. So, when an object floats, the upward buoyant force exerted by the water is greater than the downward force. So, pag lumutang kasi ang isang fluid, ang isang object, that is what we call as positive buoyancy. And if an object density is less than the water density, it would float. So, yan ang ating natawag nating positive density. However, when an object sinks, or what we call as the negative buoyancy, the weight of an object is greater than the upward buoyant force exerted by the water, and its density is greater than 1 gram per centimeter cube. Ibig sabihin, pag lumubog ang isang object, yan naman ay tinatawag nating negative buoyancy. So, when an object is neutrally buoyant, meaning it neither sink nor float, then the weight of the object is equal to the upward buoyant force exerted by the water. So, ibig sabihin, dyan na mapapasok yung equal sa zero. Hindi siya positive, hindi siya negative. So, sa buoyancy, so a body submerged in a fluid is subjected by an unbalanced force called the buoyant force. It is equal to the weight of the displaced fluid or W sub D. So, ano ba yung weight? So, weight is yung sinasabi natin kanina, density times gravity times yung volume displaced ng liquid. Displaced doon sa body submerged. However, ano ba si unit weight? Di ba ang unit weight ay density times gravity. Di ba? So, yun yun. Density times gravity. So, yun yung ating magiging formula. Or it is also equal to the weight of an object in an air minus the weight of the object in the fluid. But always remember that yung weight in air and in fluid is subjective or hindi yan constant. It depends kung saan po ba nalalagay yung isang object. Siyempre, kung halimbawa yan ay nasa gitna ng water at oil, siyempre, hindi na yung weight in air at saka weight in fluid. So kung may oil and water na yan, magiging the weight in oil na yan at weight in water. So iba din usapan kung water at mercury. So that is weight in water minus weight in mercury. So it depends po. And always remember what is sure. The buoyant force is going downward. Is going upward. Pataas po ang ating buoyant force. Okay?
Kumbaga grinding, chopping, kung ano mang process yun.
So, ano po yung pinaka-simplified explanation ng isang buoyant force? So, dito, we could see on the figure on the left is we have a 7-pound metal object. So, the moment na sinubmerge mo yan in a certain liquid, here is water, the weight becomes 4 pounds. However, after you submerge the metal, may matatapon na 3 pounds ng water. And the 3 pounds plus yung 4 pounds is, yun na yung 7 pounds. So, yun po yung magiging effect ng buoyancy. Okay? So, magkakaroon ng certain adjustment. Okay?
Yung kanya ng
so, yan yung sinasabi natin, yung positive buoyancy, paglulutang. The buoyant force, which is the force going upward, is greater than the weight of the object. Okay? So, ibig sabihin, kasi ang formula niyan is the buoyant force minus the weight of the object. So, ibig sabihin, pag pinag-minus mo siya at nag-positive siya, floating siya. Pero kung yun yung pinag-minus mo at nag-negative, ibig sabihin, the negative symbol signifies negative buoyancy. Or, yun na yung pababa. Ibig sabihin, mas maliit yung buoyant force. Mas maliit yung buoyant force. Kaya siya nag-negative buoyancy. Lumubog. Okay? So, the neutral buoyancy naman, the buoyant force is equal to the weight. So, the object is suspended in the fluid. Magsisiro naman siya pag pinag-minus. Okay? Kasi equal sila. So, the moment na pinag-minus mo yung buoyant force mo at saka yung weight, magsisiro naman po siya. Okay? So, makikita nyo dito, isang example, ito. Correction, this is 4 newtons. So, dito, sabi nga natin, the buoyant force minus yung weight. So, if the buoyant force going upward is sabi natin 4 newtons and the weight is 35 newtons downward, 4 minus 35 is negative 31. Meron pa doon. So, yung negative 31, bakit sir naging positive dito? Yung negative 31 signifies that it is going downward. Kasi negative siya. Yun yung net force mo. While, pag naman halimbawa, buoyant force minus yung ating weight. So, 3.9 minus 3.9 is 0. So, ibig sabihin siya ay neutral. However, patulad nitong nasa ice, 3.9 minus 3.5, that is positive 0.4. The positive sign signifies that it is positive buoyancy. And if it is positive buoyancy, it signifies that it is floating. Yun po yung ine-explain dito sa kanina.
Kasama na siya design layout naman sa kung ano ang pwede.
Sana yun, nawala.
Ano po, kagaya sa bahay. So, i-design niya lang ng CV.
Yan. Yan yung ine-explain dito sa positive buoyancy, neutral buoyancy, and negative buoyancy.
Pero binayaran mo yan. Part ng design.
Thanks. Okay? So, yan din po yung ine-explain po dito. So, floating. An object float when the fluid, on a fluid if its density is less than of the fluid. So, when floating, the buoyant force is equal to the weight of the fluid. Weight or yung force ng weight. So, ano ba yung formula natin ng force? Di ba sabi nga natin, force is simply the specific weight or the unit weight times volume. But alam natin that the unit weight is yung Y, which is density times gravity. Ayan, density times gravity. Tapos yung volume. Pag equal yan, always remember, gravity is constant dito sa Earth. And it is 9.81 or 32.174. So, yung 9.81 at yung 32.174, pwede mo siyang i-cancel if you have a constant multiplier of gravity on the left side and the right side. In this scenario, siya po ay parehas may gravity. Meaning, kung parehas siya may gravity, pwede natin siya may cancel. Magiging density times volume na lang po siya. Okay? So, let us try to solve na. So, given na naman po kasi yung mga solution natin dito. So, dahil given na po yung ating formula solution dito, so, I'll be explaining na lang why. So, we could finish a little bit faster and I can explain it more. So, let's explain. So, number 1. So, a stone weighs 90 Newton in air and when immersed in water, it weighs 50 Newton. Compute the volume of the stone and its specific gravity. So, ang hinahanap natin dito is the volume itself. Ngayon, dahil may weight tayo in air at meron tayong weight in water, di ba sabi natin, the buoyant force is simply equal to the weight in air minus the weight in water. So that is 90 Newton minus 50 Newton, which is equal to 40 Newton. And we also know that the buoyant force is simply yung ating unit weight dun sa liquid times the volume of the object. Well, dito kasi, ano ba yung unit weight ng ating liquid? Which is water. The unit weight is density times gravity. Alam din natin that the density of water is 1,000, gravity is 9.81, volume of stone, so yun yung unknown, is equal to 40 Newton. By formula manipulation, we could say that the volume of the stone is equal to the buoyant force divided by its unit weight, which is equal to 40 newtons divided by 1,000 kilogram per meter cube, which is the density, times 9.81 meter per second square. Ibig sabihin, ang magiging volume po natin ng stone is 4.0775 times 10 to the negative 3 meter cube. So, yan na po yung ating magiging formula ng volume ng stone. Okay? Next. A body having a specific gravity of 0.7 floats on a liquid of specific gravity of 0.8. The volume of the body above the liquid of the surface is what percent of its total volume. So, ang hinahanap dito naman ngayon is ilang percent ba nung liquid, ng object yung luluto doon sa liquid. Okay? So, alam natin that the formula is equal. So, yung volume displaced times the density of liquid times the gravity. This is the unit weight of the liquid. Ito naman yung volume displaced, yun naman yung volume na length. Yung
So, nandiyan ang
nakalubog.
So, sila yung
Diba?
bahala magbayad.
Yung volume na nakalubog sa tubig, yung object. Halimbawa, ang object ay
i-make sure na dadating
halimbawa, ano ba pwedeng example na nalutang na hindi lutang na lutang? Halimbawa, lemon. Yung nauuso ngayong lemon challenge. Diba, pag inilagay mo ang lemon sa tubig, hindi naman yan lulutang na lahat, diba? Hindi din yan lulubog. So, yung volume displaced, yan yung part ng object na nakalubog. Ano ba yung volume ng object na nakalubog? Yan. Tapos, syempre, meron ka pang density ng liquid times gravity. Tapos yung volume ng body, yun yung total volume ng buong lemon. Halimbawa, lemon yung object, yung buong lemon. And then yung density ng body, yun yung density ng lemon times gravity. And dito, alam natin that you have gravity in both sides. And sabi ko nga sa inyo, pag meron tayong gravity in both sides, pwede siyang cancelin. Kaya siya volume displaced times density ng liquid is equal to volume ng body times density ng body. So, makukuha mo yung volume displaced. So, ililipat mo yung density ng liquid sa denominator. So, yan. Ngayon, hindi naman kasi given ang ating density. Tama? Kasi ang given, specific gravity. But alam natin that density ng body is yung specific gravity times density ng water. Same as sa liquid. Specific gravity ng liquid times density ng water. Since the numerator and the denominator has both density of water, we could cancel out density of water. That would result to the volume of the body times specific gravity of the body all over the specific gravity of the liquid, which is equal to the volume of the body times 0.7 times 0.8. So, ibig sabihin, wala tayong value nito itong displaced volume. Wala din tayong value nitong volume ng body. Since hindi naman in-state kung gano'ng kalaki yung object. So, meaning, ang makukuha lang natin dito is yung percentage, yung ratio, which is 87.5 times body. Yun yung displaced. Diba, ano ba sabi ko sa inyo kanina sa displaced? Diba, the volume displaced, yun yung volume ng object na nakalubog. 0.875 or 87.5% of the body. Ang tanong, paano kaya natin makukuha yung nakalutang? Kasi ang tinatanong, percentage nung nakalutang. So, is there any idea para makuha natin yung percentage nung nakalutang?
Okay, so draw the transformation process.
Kuha sa idea, paano po natin kukunin yung part na nakalutang?
Pinapaalala ko sa inyo, yung inyong report,
based on this equation.
Anyone? Kailangan may screenshot kayo na kayo ay nag-interview. So, kailangan mailagay nyo doon yung conversation nyo na hindi naman necessarily na lahat.
Sino pong may idea?
Yung mga important.
Ang nakuha natin yung volume nung nakadupog, percentage. So, yung volume na nakalubog is 87.5% of the body. So, paano mo madadetermine yung nakalutang?
Na currently meron sila, so i-justify nyo kung
ano po kaya?
Okay po. Are we
Any
clear?
idea?
Understand? Can you please give us
Analyze. Bawa, may isang halimbawa ay may
okay, so ang sunod naman natin
10
about
cubic meter na bakal. Ang nakalubog daw ay 25%. So, di ba, pag nakalubog ay 25%, that is
the marketing concept such as yung
2.5 cubic meter. So, ano yung weight na nakalutang? Ano yung volume na nakalutang? Kung 2.5 cubic meter ang alubog. So, paano? Subtract, correct. So, kailangan, isusubtract natin sa 1 yung 0.875. Kasi, syempre, yung natitira, kung yung 87.5% of the body is submerged, ibig sabihin, yung natitira doon, yun yung nakalutang. Kasi it's either lang naman lulutang or lulubog. Hindi naman po possible na neither. So, ibig sabihin, 100 or 1 minus 0.875, that would be the percentage of the object that would float, which is 12.5%. Okay? So, yun po yung pag-predetermine ng naka-float. So, yan, tanungin po yan sa board exam. Ilang percent ng ice ang naka-lutang or nakalubog? So, yun ang kinocompute usually. Okay? So, next.
Ilalagay ko dito sa choices ko.
So, a prismatic object, 8 inches thick by 8 inches wide by 16 inches long, is weighed in water at depth of 20 inches. So, ibig sabihin yung object daw ay nakalubog ng 20 inches dun sa liquid and found to weigh 11 pounds. What is the weight in air and is specific gravity? So, ito kasing 11 pounds ay yung weight dun sa water. Ito yung weight sa water. Ang hinahanap is weight sa air at specific gravity. So, para makuha mo yung weight sa air, syempre, kailangan mo makompute muna is yung ating volume. So, yung volume natin is 8 by 8 by 16. That is 1040 cubic inch. If we're going to convert it into feet cube, bakit po natin kinonvert sa feet cube? Since we're using English system. Pounds kasi po ito. So, alam natin ang kasamahan ng pounds ay feet. Kaya kinonvert natin into 0.5926 cubic feet. Okay? So, sunod dyan, so, alam natin that the buoyant force is yung unit weight ng water times volume. Sir, bakit po na time volume lang? Wala pong nakalutong nakalubog. Kasi automatically, it was explained that it is 20 inch in depth. Ibig sabihin, lubog yan. So, yung buoyant force mo, i-multiply mo yung buong volume. At the same time, yung density ng ating water, which is yung 1.94 slug feet per cube, times gravity, which is 32.174, times the volume. Yun na yung magiging buoyant force. 36.988 pounds. So, yan po yung ating buoyant force. Okay? Yun po yung magiging buoyant force natin. Okay? So, paano natin makukuha yung weight ng air? Nakuha mo yung buoyant force, di ba? Yung buoyant force, yun yung force pataas. So, i-add mo yung weight natin, which is 11 pounds. So, yun yung magiging weight in air. So, 11 pounds plus, yung kasi pala, hindi pala weight in air, weight in water, plus yung buoyant force natin, which is 11 pounds plus 36.988 pound force. So, yung magiging total weight niya in air is 47.988 pound force. So, yun na yung magiging weight natin na ating prismatic object in air. So, alin po ba yung ina-explain na yun? Ito po yan. Ito po yung etong weight in air. Ang timbang kasi nito, 11 pounds. Yung ating 36.988, ito yung natapon nung inilagay natin. Di ba? Pag pinagplasa natin yan, magiging 47 yung magiging weight in air. Okay? Tapos ang tinatanong ay specific gravity. So, paano natin kukunin yung specific gravity? So, yung specific gravity, di ba, ay ano yon? Density in ng object over density in water. However, wala kang density dito. Pero di ba, it is directly proportionate sa specific gravity. And at the same time, it is directly proportional to the weight. So, ibig sabihin, automatically, that would be equal to yung ating weight sa air over weight sa water. Sa halip na density ng air at yung density ng, density ng object over density sa water, gagawin nating weight kasi directly proportional sila. Okay? So that is equal to 47.988 pound force divided by yung ating weight sa tubig, which is 3.988 pound force, which is equal to 129.70 force. Alin yung specific gravity na yon? Ito yan. Yung weight natin dito, which is 7 divided by yung ating 3 dito sa water. Weight sa water ha, hindi itong 3 dito. Yung 3D. Yung 4 pala. 7 divided by 4. Yan. Okay? So, question or clarification before we continue? May tanong po ba? Feel free to ask po if you have question or clarification. So we could address it properly. Siguradong walang tanong ha.
Parang idadoubt po agad para sa kanya i-detail po nangangarap pa lang po siya.
Okay, so if walang question, let us continue.
PSU is maganda, kaya nga po nung tinagurihan po ng National Engineering University siya. So, pagka-engineering po, maayos po. Pero, hindi po rin po natin masasabi kung maayos po yan sa kanya since sa kanya.
A block of wood, 0.2 meter thick, is floating in seawater. So, the specific gravity of wood is 0.65, while that of seawater is 1.03. Find the minimum area of block which will support a man weighing 80 kilograms. So, ibig sabihin, paano support a man? So, may kahoy daw na 0.2 meter ang kapal at may tao na 80 kilogram. Ano yung magiging total area or yung surface area na tutungtungan ng man para ano? Para hindi siya lumubog. So, 'di ba? Ano ba yung ating principle dito? 'Di ba? Ang principle natin sa buoyancy, ito. Para hindi ka lumubog, so it's either itong neutral buoyancy natin, which is equal yung sa ating force or dito sa positive. Since ang sinasabi is minimum area para lumutang, so pwedeng dito sa papasok ko dyan sa ating positive buoyancy. Kasi lulutang dapat yung tao. Or kahit yung neutral pala. Kasi neutral lang hindi naman kailangan lumutang lahat. So, equal yung force natin, yung buoyant force natin, di ba? As what I have discussed a while ago, the buoyant force is always the force that goes upward and yung force naman ng weight is downward. Ano ba yung force na upward? Yung buoyant force. Ano yung force downward? Yung weight ng kahoy. However, hindi lang naman yung kahoy yung kailangan nating i-take into consideration. Ano pa yung kailangan mo i-take into consideration? you should take into consideration the weight of the man. Kasi tutungtong yung man dun sa kahoy. So, ibig sabihin, yung force ng man or yung weight ng man also affects dun sa equilibrium. So, ibig sabihin, yung buoyant force should be equal dun sa weight ng man plus yung weight ng wood. Okay. So, papasok tayo dito, the buoyant force is equal to the weight of man plus weight of wood. Where the buoyant force is what? The specific, the unit weight of seawater times the volume of the wood. Kasi yun yung part na lulutang sa wood. Automatically, kung lulutang yung wood, lulutang yung man. Diba? Is equal to the weight of the man plus yung unit weight ng wood times the volume of the wood. So, ano ba unit weight ng seawater? That is density times gravity, 9.81 times 1,000 times the volume of the wood is equal to the weight of the man, which is, ano ba yung weight? Weight is in newtons or mass times gravity. So, since ang given dito yung mass, so you have to multiply this to gravity. And then unit weight of wood is simply, since ang given dito ay specific weight, specific gravity, so specific gravity is density times gravity, density ng water, times gravity times specific gravity.
Halimbawa, ikaw ay doktor.
So, papasok tayo dyan.
So, ang own taking mo ay
yan. Papasok tayo dito. So, yun yung sinasabi ko kanina. Itong unit weight is specific gravity times density times gravity. Ito yung wood. Itong weight ng man ay mass times gravity. Itong specific gravity times density times gravity is yung unit weight ng wood at yung volume ng wood. Ano yung common sa kanila? Yung common sa kanila is the gravity. So, ibig sabihin, since common yung gravity, pwedeng mong i-cancel si gravity. Si water, hindi po siya common. Hindi porket may equal sign at parehas may density ng water, mag-i-equal siya. Bakit? Always remember yung gravity. Dito sa numerator, sa left side may gravity. Sa right side, since this is additive, parehas may gravity. However, yung ating density, ito lang ang density nating water. Ito ang density lang natin dito ng water is dun sa may part ng wood. Pero sa man, wala. Kaya hindi mo ma-cancel si density ng water. Pero si gravity, ma-cancel mo. Okay. So, cancel. However, si density, hindi ma-cancel kasi walang density to. Mas ang meron kayo, hindi density. Eh, hindi ma-cancel. And then, after that, we substitute. This is 1.03, this is 1,000, this is blank, this is 80 kilogram, this is 0.65, 1,000, and then blank. And then substitute, and then transpose. Dito makukuha mo na yung volume ng wood. So, kailangan, which is, this is cubic meter. Sorry. Ngayon, kung ang target market so, this is cubic parang naka-address ko ganyan ba yung pangmasa, kumbaga, okay lang na walang parking. O di yung mga yan na makukuha mo. Tapos, pag nakuha mo na yung volume, paano mo makukuha minimum area? Eh, di ba meron kang thickness? So, di ba, volume is area times thickness. So, ang area mo ay, eto na. So, volume ng wood divided by the thickness. So, ibig sabihin ng area ng wood para lumutang yung tao should be 1.03 0.526
So may mga
cubic
branches where
meter.
customers are located.
Yun ang kailangan
Nagkakaroon ng mga
para
franchises.
hindi ka
Okay?
lumubog.
How about the
Okay?
promotion? Pang ilang pina ito? Okay, so
Question.
when an engineer manager have products or services to sell, they will have to convince buyers to
Question
buy
po
from them.
ba?
Kaya ako kayo tinanong kanina, kung may magtanong sa inyo,
May tanong
how
po
are you
ba?
going to
Sigurado?
promote your,
Baka walang
ano,
tanong,
your,
mamaya wala na lang sagot,
major
ha?
or your program
So,
na EE?
feel free to
Ay,
ask po.
kuya, madali ka sa
Pwede
EE.
naman po
Masaya
nating
ka sa EE?
i-explain.
O,
Okay?
ano bang meron sa EE?
So,
Sabihin
next.
mo, wag ka nang mag-iingat.
A cube of wood which has a specific gravity of 0.6 has 9 inches in size.
Diba? So,
Compute the magnitude, the direction of the force required to hold the wood completely submerged in water. From the word itself here, it is completely submerged. Ibig sabihin nakalubog. And pag nakalubog, it is negative buoyancy. Diba? And if it is negative buoyancy, ibig sabihin dapat yung buoyant force minus the force itself, the weight is negative value. Because the negative sign signifies it is going downward. Okay? So, yung force natin is yung force minus the buoyant force. So, makikita natin, ano ba yung weight ng wood? So, the weight is what? Yung density times. So, yung force is yung weight is the density or the specific gravity. Bakit hindi density? Kasi wala ka naman density, specific gravity. So, para makuha mo yung density, kukunin mo, multiply mo siya sa density ng water. Tapos, times unit weight, times gravity. So, ito yung magiging unit weight times volume ng wood. Minus volume ng wood times density ng water times gravity para dun sa buoyant force. Sir, bakit hindi ngayon na-divide hindi na-cancel si gravity? Parehas naman po may gravity to. Parehas din po may density ng water. Ang kabila, meron ba? Wala. Kasi yun yung mismo hinahanap natin. Yung force mismo required. So, sabihin, kailangan yung magiging value mo, force. Kasi pag inalis mo yung gravity, pag inalis mo yung density, hindi na yung magiging force. Kasi magiging specific gravity na lang yan at saka yung wood, diba? So, hindi siya pwede. Kaya hindi mo pwedeng i-cancel si density at si gravity because that signifies your unit weight or your specific weight. So, if we're going to substitute 9/12, bakit 9/12? It is 9/12 since this is in inches and our force or our pound force should be in feet. So, 9/12 para ma-convert sa feet, raised to 3 kasi volume, times 0.6 which is the specific gravity of wood, times 1.94 which is the density of water, times 32.174 which is the gravity, minus 9/12 cube which is yun yung atin uling volume ng cube, times 1.94 times 32.174. That would result to negative 10.5330. Sabi ko nga sa inyo kanina, pag negative, that is the buoyant force going upward. Ibig sabihin, downward yung ating value. Kasi pababa na siya. Diba?
The company make a decision on whether to serve all or some of the segments. Okay, so the segment or segments chosen become the target market.
Siyempre, pag dinagyan mo yung force pababa, lulubog. Diba?
Insurance, diba?
Next.
Paano yun? Madami na. May ProLife, may Sunlight, may Manolight, lahat ng light, meron na. Diba? So, ikaw
number 5.
lang
Ay, hindi, number 6 na
So,
pala.
ngayon, ang pinaka-the best daw po kasi
So, number 6. So, ito. A uniform block of steel. So, dito yun sa question.
Gumawa ka ng iyo kasi, halimbawa,
Of scale which has a specific gravity of
pero maganda din sana panimula kasi Pinayayaman mo lang yung CEO na yan. Hindi ka gumawa ng iyo. Diga? Para ikaw,
a uniform block of steel which has a specific gravity of 7.85 will float at a mercury-water interface. What is the ratio of distance A and B from this condition? So, ibig sabihin, yung steel mo, nasa gitna ng water at mercury. Parang yung kahapon sa density tower. Diba? You have some objects that lies in between two liquids. Hindi naman siya laging nasa water or nasa honey. Minsan, nasa gitna ng honey at ng corn syrup or honey at saka ng mud cake syrup. So, depende. So, makikita nyo, hindi naman siya perfectly kalahati. Minsan, 3/4 nasa taas, 1/4 sa baba. Minsan naman, kalahati na sa taas, kalahati na sa baba. So, di ba, nakadepende din sa ating magiging buoyancy. However, anong tinatanong dito? What is being asked is the ratio of the distance. So, from A to B. So, halimbawa, kung 10 metro ang height ng iyong steel, ilang metro doon ang nakadikit sa nakalutang sa tubig, ilan yung nakalutang sa honey. So, yun po yun. So, to determine that, so, syempre, kailangan nating kumpyatin si buoyant force. However, yung buoyant force natin dito, hindi lamang iisa. Kasi, di ba, pag tayo nag-equate ng force, equilibrium, force going up is equal to going down na force. Ano yung force going up? The force going up is the buoyant force sa water at buoyant force ng sa may mercury. Pag nakuha natin yung dalawang buoyant force, that should be equal to the weight of the steel. Doon siya depende. Yung dalawang force mo or yung dalawang buoyant force mo. Okay? So, paano natin yan isa-solve? So, ito. So, yan yung sinasabi ko. The buoyant force sa water plus the buoyant force sa mercury is equal to the weight of the object. Substitute the buoyant force. Oh, unit weight na lang. Unit weight ng water times yung volume nun sa water. Tapos plus yung unit weight sa mercury times yung volume ng mercury is equal to the weight. So, pag nakuha mo yan, pwede mo sabihin that unit weight is density times gravity times yung ating volume ng steel in water. Anong yung volume ng steel in water? Yung nasa taas, di ba? Ito yung volume ng steel na nasa water. Tapos, plus yung ating density ng mercury times gravity times ito naman pong volume ng steel in mercury is yung volume ng object dito sa may babang part, dito sa part ng mercury is equal to yung unit weight ng steel times the total volume ng ating steel. Yung total na. Ano na yung magiging kabubuong volume? So, if we're going to substitute, so 1,000 times 9.81 times volume ng steel plus 13,600 times 9.81 times yung volume ng steel sa mercury is equal to unit weight ng steel which is 9.81 times 1,000 times 7.85 times volume ng steel. Okay. Ngayon, ang hinahanap kasi dyan, yung A at B. Paano mo siya i-take into consideration? So, madali itong problem na to since if makikita nyo yung figure, cube lang siya. Ibig sabihin yung area niya sa taas, yung area niya doon sa pinagtapyasan at yung area sa baba ay iisa. And alam natin na volume is area times height. So, kung halimbawa, naging area times height siya, ito, at ito, ibig sabihin, pwede mo na yung canceling area. Bakit? Since that is a cube, kahit saan mo yung tapyasin perpendicularly to the y-axis, ibig sabihin, lagi yung magpapare-parehas ng area. Kung magpapare-parehas yan ng area, anong ibig sabihin nun? Pwede mo siyang cancelin. So, pag na-cancel mo na itong area, pwede mo na siyang isolve in terms of A over B. So, yan, maa-cancel yung area. So, 1,000 times 9.81 times height A plus yung density ng mercury times yung gravity times height ng B is equal to 9.81 times 1,000 times 7.85 times height ng A plus B. So, pag nakuha niyan, matatranspose na natin HA over HB, makukuha na natin na 0.8394 or the ratio of A to B is 83.94%. Ratio po kasi siya. So, since that is ratio, that is unitless. Wala po tayong U. Okay? Question. Pwede pong magtanong para po kung may tanong, pwede ko pong ulitin. Alin dyan ang nalito? Alin dyan ang kailangan kong i-re-explain? Yun po ang mahalaga. Question? Okay, are we clear? Can you please give a thumbs up if okay pa kayo? May tanong? Okay. Sigurado ha? So, i-dire-diretso na po natin dito sa topic. Oy, baka yung mamay walang tanong tapos wala ding may present sa lab experiment number 1 ha? So, if there are no further questions, let's have a 15 minutes break before we continue for our module number 4. So, be back at exactly 1:45. Okay? Okay, audible po ba ako? Naririnig po ba? Okay. So let's discuss. So maigsi lang kasi itong last, probably 45 minutes to 1 hour then. So
ito refers to corporate earnings not paid
let's
out
discuss.
as
Nasaan na yung
dividends.
file?
So simply means
Module
that whatever
4.
earnings that are due to the stockholders of a corporation are invested. Nakuha mo dito. Gusto
Tapos
mo,
na po tayo sa
ulit,
fluid
kaya
dynamics.
ulit lang
Papasok
pinag-ibo.
tayo sa fluid
So,
kinematic.
ano yung different types
From
of
the
bonds? Meron
from words of
debentures,
kinematics, so dito na yung
mortgage,
fluid
guarantee,
at motion.
subordinated,
So
convertible
gumagalaw
bonds,
na po.
and income
So
bonds.
fluid
So, yan.
kinematics,
So, I
a
suggest
branch of
magkakaroon
fluid
ng
mechanic
pera.
which
So,
deals with the response of
mag-invest tayo sa
fluid
mga
in
ganun.
motion
Okay?
without
So,
considering
next source of financing.
force and energy
So,
in them.
syempre,
The study of
according to
kinematic
Charles
often
and
referred
flexibility
to as the
is
geometry
income
of
control
motion.
timing,
Ibig sabihin,
and
fluid
other
flow,
factors like
gumagalaw.
collateral
So
values,
both liquid and air may be
location
described in
costs,
two
and
different ways.
exposure.
The Lagrangian approach and the Eulerian approach. So ano ba yung
Dito naman
difference
sa
ng
types
dalawa?
of risk,
Pag sinabi kasi
risk
nating
can be
Lagrangian
classified as
approach,
pure or
one particle
selective.
is chosen
So,
and
i-take
is
note nyo na
followed
lang,
as
sa
it's
pure
moved
risk, there's
through
only
space
one
with
chance of
time.
loss.
The
Pagka
line traces out by
speculative,
that one
this type of
particle
risk
is
is
called
not insurable.
particle path
Okay?
line.
Pag
Ibig
sinabi
sabihin,
ng risk
isang ano lang,
management,
isang
an
line lang.
organized
Isang
strategy for
streamline,
protecting and conserving
isang point
assets
to
and
another
people.
point,
The
isang
purpose
line
of
lang
this
yung nabubuo.
risk
However,
management
pag sinabi
is
nating
to
Eulerian
intelligently
approach
perform
is
all the
used to
available
obtain a
methods of
clear
dealing
idea
with
of
risk
the
in order to
airflow
secure the
at one
economic survival
particular
of the
instant.
year.
One
Okay,
can
how
look
about
at a
the methods of
photograph
dealing
of
with
flow of
risk?
four
So there are
instance
various
surface
methods. So
ocean
the
current
we avoid
at a
the
particular
dangerous.
fixed time.
Yan,
The
NAD,
entire flow field
shifted.
is easily visualized. The lines comprising this
Okay,
flow
for your
is field,
activity 12,
flow field are
identify
called
again the
streamlines.
engineering
So
theory of
pag sinabi
choice.
kasi natin yung Eulerian
Determine the
approaches,
methods used by the
multiple
firm in
lines siya.
handling risk.
Multiple
Do you
point
consider this
to
methods
another point.
adequate?
So
If
kung
not,
halimbawa
suggest
nagkakaroon
the
siya ng
appropriate
barrier,
method
nagkakaroon siya ng
must be
isang
used.
object na blockage,
Kailangan
ibig sabihin ano yung magiging multiple flows niya with respect dun sa hinder niya. So makikita natin yan later, parang may figure dito ng Lagrangian at Eulerian. So dito, ang example ng Lagrangian method is it define the mass as function of time. So example, yung location ng migrating birds. So halimbawa yung migrating birds, pumupunta dito sa isang point A to point B to point C. Yun si Lagrangian approach. Pag Eulerian method, ibig sabihin, yun yung flow field as function of position and time. So, ibig sabihin, ito yung multiple. Ilang birds yung passing through particular location. Ibig sabihin dito, multiple siya. Halimbawa, ano ba yung flow ng multiple birds? Saan ba siya pupunta? Halimbawa, may blockage siya na building. So, paano ba liliko yung bawat isang ibon? So, yun yung Eulerian method. Ibig sabihin, bawat isang ibon, hindi naman iisa yung straight line. Merong magkakatabing ibon. So, yung ibig sabihin, pagliko nila bawat isa, yun yung magiging Eulerian method. Okay? So, ibig sabihin, yun yung multiple pathway niya. Okay? So, si rate of flow, syempre marami tayong flow. Pag sinabi kasi nating flow is the quantity of fluid passed through a unit of time. So, pag sinabi kasi nating quantity of fluid, marami ang variation. Pwedeng volume, pwedeng mass, pwedeng weight. Okay. Pag volume flow rate, from the word itself, volume, ibig sabihin, yung amount of volume over time. Yun yung dinedetermine natin. Ilang bang volume at a specific certain time. So, ano ba si volume? Volume is area times length. Or minsan yun yung tatawag nating area times velocity. So, ano ba ang unit ng volume, di ba? Meter cube or cubic meter. Ano ba ang unit ng time? Ang unit ng time is second, halimbawa. So, pag sinabi kasi natin halimbawa ay area, that is meter squared, times velocity, which is meter per second. So, meter squared times meter per second squared is meter cube per second. So, ganun po pag volume flow rate. Tapos, pag mass flow rate naman from the word itself, mass, sa halip na volume ay kinitake into consideration mo, mass naman. Ano ba pang mass? So, ibig sabihin, mass is, di ba, density times area. Di ba? Density times area is, yun naman yung times length over time. Yun naman po pag mass of fluid. Okay? Bakit? Ano ba pag mass? Di ba ang ating volume ay meter cube? Ano ba pag density? Di ba siya ay mass over volume? So, ibig sabihin, magkakaroon ka ng unit analysis, maa-cancel si volume. Because mass over volume times volume is equal to mass over time. Yan. So, last but not the least is the weight flow rate or G. So, ano ba si weight? Di ba? Weight is mass times gravity. So, yung ating mass flow rate, ang technique dyan, para makuha mo si weight flow rate, i-multiply mo lang kay gravity. So, anong technique? Ano yung magiging base formula mo dyan? Yung pinaka-base formula mo dyan is si volume flow rate. Pag minultiply mo siya to density, siya ay mass flow rate. Pero pag ang minultiply mo dyan ay yung iyong unit weight o yung iyong specific weight, ang makukuha mo na dyan ay weight, ang makukuha mo niya dyan ay weight density. Okay? Weight density but weight flow rate. Okay? So, syempre, ang magiging unit pag volume flow rate ay cubic meter per second. Pag mass flow rate is kilogram per second. Pag weight flow rate is Newton per second. Ganon po yung magiging sistema pag ganyan. Okay? So, it's either ang i-multiply mo pag weight flow rate ay mass flow rate times gravity or may isa pang possible. Eh di ang gawin mo ay ang i-multiply mo is yung iyong volume flow rate, multiply mo sa unit weight. Okay? So, it's either unit weight times volume flow rate or density times gravity times volume flow rate. Okay? So, syempre, pag makikita mo, so ito yung cross-sectional area multiply by its velocity. Yun yung inyong volume flow rate. So, mayroon tayong iba't ibang types of flow. It depends sa property of fluid or sa property of flow. Pag sinabi natin property of fluid, ibig sabihin, ang ating nagiging take into consideration is the fluid itself. While pag naman po ang type of flow depends on the property of flow, it depends on how the fluid flows. Hindi yung the proper fluid itself. So, pag fluid property, it can be ideal or real. So, ano ba yung ideal or real? Yung diniscuss natin last time. Tsaka yung incompressible at compressible. Yan yung diniscuss natin sa Module 1. Pag sinabi natin ideal, from the itself ideal, walang losses. Incompressible, ibig sabihin hindi siya na-compress or na-adjust yung volume in terms of flash. In terms of pressure. While pag real, from the itself real, ibig sabihin makatotohanan. Ibig sabihin nagkakaroon ng losses, nako-compress. Okay. Well, pag naman depending on the properties of flow, pwede ang laminar, pwedeng turbulent, pwedeng steady, unsteady, uniform, non-uniform. Pag sinabi kasi natin yung laminar, or pag sinabi kasi natin diyang laminar, ibig sabihin, diretso lang yan. Ibig sabihin, isang straight line lang, puro straight line. While pag turbulent, ibig sabihin labo-labo. Merong pataas, baba, tataas, bababa. Meron naman bababa, tataas, bababa. Kumbaga, magkakaiba siya. Ibig sabihin, walang uniform flow. Pag naman steady at unsteady, anong ibig sabihin ng steady at unsteady? Pag sinabi kasi natin steady, ibig sabihin, kung ang flow rate niya, ang velocity niya ay 5 meter per second, lagi yang 5 meter per second. Pag yun ang sinasabi natin steady. Pag sinabi naman natin unsteady, ano naman ang magiging comparison yan? So pag sinabi natin unsteady, yan yung bibilis, babagal, bibilis, babagal. So, pwede ka bawa ay 5 meter per second, tapos biglang hihina yung flow ng liquid na magiging 2 meter per second, tapos bibilis naman ng 8 meter per second, yun yung unsteady. Pag naman sinabing uniform, ibig sabihin yung cross-sectional area nung dinadaluyan ng liquid ay uniform. Kung ang cross-sectional area ng pipe ay 1 inch ang diameter, all throughout 1 inch. While pag non-uniform, pwedeng lumiliit to 0.5 ang diameter, tapos pwedeng lumaki. So, yun yung non-uniform yung flow. Ibig sabihin, nag-iiba-iba pa rin yan since lumalapad, kumikipot, bumibilis, bumabagal yung velocity. So, ibig sabihin kasi more likely, yun yung nakaka-affect depending sa properties of flow. So, dyan kasi natin dyan po pumapasok dun sa laminar at turbulent, dun pumapasok yung tinatawag nating Reynolds number. Okay? While pag kasi naman sa ideal trill, dyan pumapasok yung consideration natin ng friction. Pag ideal, ibig sabihin, hindi natin ikina-consider ang friction, ibig sabihin, perfectly smooth. Pag real, syempre meron yung mga friction, may coefficient of friction na bagal dahil sa type ng tubo. So, doon yon pumupunta. Nagkakadepende sa type ng liquid, kung viscous ba yung liquid or hindi. Di ba? Kaya nga meron tayong kinematic viscosity at dynamic viscosity. So, doon po yan nakaka-apekto. So, yan po yung explain ko dito. Yan. So, ideal, so walang friction, real, nagkakaroon ng friction. So, kumikipot. So, ito, pag sabi natin compressible, ibig sabihin, through pressure, na-adjust yung volume. Pag incompressible, hindi po nababago yung volume. Kahit anong exert mong pressure. So, yan yung sinasabi kong laminar. Pag turbulent, labo-labo. Ano ba example ng laminar? Yung sa hose ng tubig, if mapapansin nyo, minsan, pag nagbukas kayo ng hose ng tubig, yung flow ng tubig parang naka-freeze. Parang yelo. Hindi nagalaw. Pero mayroong flow na nangyayari. Kasi ibig sabihin, yung flow ng tubig, constant, hindi na babago. Ibig sabihin, it's perfectly smooth. Okay. Pag turbulent kasi, labo-labo siya. So, isang example, yung usok ng bulkan. Hindi naman yan isang diretso lang. So, iba. So, yan naman. So, yung steady at unsteady, na-explain ko na yan kanina. Yung uniform at non-uniform, na-explain ko na din. So, yan. Nakapagbigay na din ako ng example niyan. So, pag one-dimensional, ibig sabihin, isang dimension lang. Kung sa x-axis lang. Kung y-axis lang. So, ibig sabihin, one dimension, yung velocity natin. If we're going to take into consideration yung tinatawag natin two-dimensional at three-dimensional. Ano ba pag two-dimensional? If makikita nyo to, ito, two-dimensional, bakit? Iisa yung pinupuntahan niya, pero meron dito nagmumula, meron dito nagmumula, meron nagmumula. Pero yung direction niya is going here. So, two-dimensional po siya. Pag naman po three-dimensional, ibig sabihin lahat ng direction, dinadaanan X, Y, and Z. Ano yung example ng three-dimensional? Yung ating forecast ng weather. Yung tide ng tubig. So, considered na siya as three dimensional. Okay? So, yung mga yun ang example po ng properties ng ating liquid. So, paano natin nakikita yung ano ba yung importance ng flow pattern? So, yung example ng flow pattern, eto yan. So, makikita mo, saan ba siya ina-apply? One example is yung designing ng kotse. If mataas yung funds ng isang car company dun sa isang product nila, tumataas yung kanilang research and development, nakadepende dun yung design ng kotse. Dun sa tinatawag nating aerodynamics. Bakit? Siyempre, pag ano ba yung nagiging testing nila? Nagsisignify sila, nagsisimbol sila doon ng flow ng hangin para nakikita how does the design of the car affects yung drag ng hangin. Kasi 'di ba syempre, pag ikaw ay natakbo, yung sasakyan mo, sinasalubong mo yung hangin. So paano ba nakaka-apekto yung fairings ng iyong sasakyan, ng hood ng iyong sasakyan, ng hugis ng pagkagawa ng hood mo, paano nakaka-apekto yung design na yon dun sa salubong ng hangin. Siyempre, pag maganda yung salubong ng hangin, kung maganda yung smooth yung inyong magiging flow pattern, ibig sabihin, hindi masyadong makaka-apekto yung opposing hangin dun sa takbo mo. Ibig sabihin, mas magiging efficient yung takbo ng iyong sasakyan doon sa kapasidad ng iyong makina. Ibig sabihin, nakakatulong yun para mas bumilis ang sasakyan. At the same time, nakakatulong yun kasi pag smooth ang iyong takbo, ibig sabihin, hindi pwersadong iyong makina. Pag hindi pwersadong iyong makina, ibig sabihin, mas matipid din siya sa gasolina. At the same time, doon sa iyong magiging makina, hindi mapupwersa. Mas hindi, anong tamang term doon? Tamang term doon eh. So, kumbaga parang hindi basta-basta mabubugbog. Okay? So, isa pang example niyan is sa mga athletes. So, makikita ninyo, so halimbawa, ayan, sa skiing, so makikita nyo, ano ba yung tamang position ng katawan para hindi nakaka-apekto yung hangin dun sa ski, dun sa nagsiski. Sa example ay sa mga swimmer. So pag naglalangoy ka, ano yung tamang position ng kamay para hindi ma-apekto yung drag ng tubig? Siyempre may drag ang tubig. Ano yung tamang position? Ano yung tamang galaw sa bawat isang stroke para perfectly smooth yung pag-transition mo or yung paglangoy ninyo. So, nakaka-apekto po iyon. Siyempre, so dun pa lang makikita mo na yun sa flow pattern. Okay? So, yun yung isang principle dito sa visualization ng flow pattern. So, dito, ito makikita mo. Ito yung tinatawag natin kaninang ano ang tawag dito? So, ito, dalawang example. So, ito yung path line, ito yung streamline. So, sa natin yan, diniscuss kanina, ito po yan. Yung Lagrangian at Eulerian approach. Eulerian method. Ito yung sa Lagrangian. So, isa lang siya. One point to another. Ito yung Eulerian. So, makikita nyo, multiple point siya to another point. So, itong object mo, nakaka-apekto yung bawat isang point lang. Pero magkakaiba siya ng effect per point. So, yun yung sa Lagrangian at Eulerian. Okay? So, pag sinabi naman natin straight line, so yan, makikita nyo yung pinaka-straight line niya is sa object ay isa lang. Pag sinabi mo naman string tube, so ito yung area sa una, ito yung area sa ikalawa, pero yung kanya point to another point is directly pa din na nakakapag-form siya ng isang cylindrical tube na lumalaki. At yung laki niya, hindi naman siya yung biglang laki. So, ibig sabihin, kita niyo yung angle din ng area, nakaka-apekto din po siya. So, nagkakaroon siya ng imaginary tube. Okay? So, yan. So, more on terms lang po kasi ito. So, ang solving lang talaga dito yung tatlong flow rate. Yung mass, yung weight, at volume, yung flow rate. Lumabas yata. Nandiyan ba? Ano pala? So, yan po is yung diniscuss din natin kanina, yung mass, volume, at weight flow rate. Okay. Okay na tayo dyan. Okay. So, fluid system refer to a specific mass of fluid within the boundary defined by closed surface. So, the shape of system and so the boundaries may change with time as when fluid moves and deforms. So, the system containing it also move and deform. So, pag sabi natin control volume refers to a fixed region which does not move or change. It is region in which fluid flows into and out. Okay? So, ayan. So, ito din yung ating diniscuss kanina. So, yung mass natin, density times area times velocity. Because area times velocity is volume. And volume times density is equal to mass. So, yan din po. So, syempre, pag sabi natin incompressible, ibig sabihin, equal yung flow. Yung volume flow rate. Pag equal yung flow rate, ibig sabihin, kung ano yung flow rate sa papasok, yun din yung flow rate sa palabas. So, doon yung pumapasok yung tinatawag nating continuity equation. Nag-i-equal sila. Kasi dito, syempre, yung density 1 at density 2, iisa. Kasi yung liquid naman na pumasok at yung liquid na lumabas ay iisa. So, ibig sabihin, pwede mag-cancel yung density. So, it varies na lang sa area at sa velocity. Tapos, syempre, dahil nga siya ay incompressible, ibig sabihin, hindi na iipit yung volume. So, yung pumasok, yun din yung lalabas. So, pag yun ay sinolve natin, madali pag incompressible. So, nagiging complicated ang calculation ng volume flow rate if it becomes a compressible liquid. Okay? So, let's try to solve. Water flows. So, madali lang tong solution. So, explain ko lang. So, water flows through a 75 millimeter diameter pipe at a velocity of 3 meter per second. Find the volume flow rate in meter cube per second, mass flow rate in kilogram per second, and the weight flow rate in Newton per second. So, ang technique dito, pag ganitong isosolve nyo, pinakamadaling way is to solve muna ang volume flow rate. Pag nakuha mo yung volume flow rate, pwede mo nang kunin ang mass flow rate. Pag nakuha mo rin yung mass flow rate, pwede mo nang kunin yung weight flow rate. Because mass flow rate is multiply mo lang si volume flow rate kay density. Tapos si weight flow rate naman is mass flow rate times gravity. Okay? So, umpisahan natin kay volume flow rate. Since this is a pipe, ibig sabihin, ang surface area niya ay circle. So, ibig sabihin, ang i-apply natin pag circle ay, ano ba ang area ng circle? It's either pi r squared or pi d squared over 4. So, pag nakuha mo yung pinaka-area niya, i-multiply mo na lang sa velocity. Ano magiging velocity natin dito? 3 meter per second. So, nakuha mo yung area using the diameter, multiply mo sa 3 meter per second, meron ka ng volume flow rate. Tapos, nakuha mo yung volume flow rate, i-multiply mo sa density ng water, which is 1,000 kilogram per meter cube. makukuha mo na yung mass flow rate. Ngayon, nakuha mo si mass flow rate, i-multiply mo sa 9.81 9.81 meter per second squared, makukuha mo na si weight flow rate. So, let's see yung solution. So, ayan, diameter, 75 millimeter or 75 times 10 to the negative 3 meters times mo ang area. So, pi d squared over 4, you would get this area. Pag nakuha mo na yung area na yon, i-multiply mo sa 3 meter per second, makukuha mo yung volume flow rate nito. So, your volume flow rate dito is 0.133 meter cube per second. So, no need to convert to liter per second kasi hindi naman pina-compute ng liter per second. So, kung pina-compute ng liter per second, edi doon mo lang siya i-convert. However, since hindi dito pinaka-convert, pwede na yung 0.0133 meter cube per second. The moment na nakuha mo yon, so yun na yung iyong volume flow rate. Multiply that to density, which is 1,000 kilogram per meter cube. So magiging 13.3 kilogram per second. So yun na yung mass flow rate. Tapos itong mass flow rate na 13.3 kilogram per second, i-multiply mo sa 9.81 meter per second squared, makukuha mo na si Newton per second. So, lalabas doon, 9.81 times 13.3 is equal to, so, madali lang talaga siya, 130.473 Newton per second. So, ngayon, syempre, hindi po laging area ng circle. Paano kung naging ang tubo mo ay gawa sa square pi? Or ay triangular. So, ibig sabihin, yung area mo, kukunin mo lang yung area. So, kaya nga sabi ko sa inyo, napakahalaga din ng solid mensuration dito. Dapat familiar sa mga area ng circle, square, triangle, pentagon. So, doon siya papasok. Okay? So, dapat lagi niyong tatandaan, especially sa exam, memorize all the area of regular and irregular polygons. Okay? Sunod. So, what is the rate of flow of water passing through a pipe with a diameter of 20 millimeter and a speed of 0.5 meter per second? So, ang hinahanap lang dito ay volume flow rate. So, volume flow rate is surface area times velocity. So, may diameter ka. So, gagamit ka uli ng area ng circle. Pi r squared over pi r squared or pi d squared over 4 times mo sa velocity. So, yung 20 millimeter, multiply mo, i-convert mo, so magiging 20 times 10 to the negative 3, isa-square mo, yun na yung ating multiplied by pi, i-divide mo sa 4, yun na yung area, times mo sa speed na 0.5, yun na yung volume flow rate. So, ayan na yan. So, ayan yung magiging pinaka-volume flow rate niya. So, kukunin natin yung area. So, pi d squared over 4. So, itong area, multiply mo sa 0.5. Makukuha mo na yung volume flow rate. Okay? Malay nyo sa exam, halimbawa, papasok sa isang container, lalabas dun sa isang container, lalabas sa container, tapos yung lumabas sa container na yun, papasok ulit sa panibagong container. So, pwedeng ganon, palipat-lipat lang. So, nakadepende po. Okay? So, dito, sa sunod, a 100 millimeter diameter plunger is being pushed at 60 millimeter per second. into a tank filled with oil having a specific gravity of 0.82. If the fluid is incompressible, how many Newton per second of oil is being forced out at 30 millimeter diameter hole? So, since sinabi ditong incompressible, ibig sabihin, the flow ng inlet is equal to the flow sa outlet. Ibig sabihin, kung ano yung flow sa papasok, yun din yung magiging flow sa palabas. So, pwede nga gawin nyo, kunin nyo muna yung volume flow rate dito sa plunger. Pag nakuha nyo yung volume flow rate dito, syempre, kung ano yung flow rate dito, yun din ang flow rate dito. Tama? So, yung flow rate na yun, yun na yun. Tapos, syempre, dahil yan incompressible, yung volume flow rate dito, dahil equal sila, ibig sabihin, yung weight flow rate dito sa plunger, yun din yung equal sa weight flow rate dito sa hole. So, kung tutusin, hindi mo nga kailangan tong 30 mm. Kasi, basta makuha mo yung flow rate, makuha mo na yung weight flow rate. Pampagulong nga lang. Ano nga pwede mo naman gamitin yung 30 mm, pero mas haba yung solution. Pero pwede mo siyang isolve na hindi nataan to. Kasi magiging same lang naman ang volume mo. Okay? Let's check the solution. So, area. So, kunin mo muna yung diameter ng 100 mm. So, ito yung area. So, makukuha mo tong area na to. Multiply by the velocity which is 60 mm per second. So, ito, times mo sa 60 mm per second, nakuha mo yung volume flow rate. So, itong volume flow rate na to, equal dun sa volume flow rate sa labas. Bakit? Kasi siya ay incompressible. So, ano ba pag volume flow rate? Weight flow rate, di ba? Weight flow rate is equal saan? Sa unit weight times volume flow rate. Ito na yung volume flow rate. Ano na hahanapin mo? Unit weight. However, ang unit weight natin dito ay wala. Ang given ay density. Alam natin, specific gravity. Alam natin that specific gravity is equal to density ng water times specific gravity. So, nakuha mo na si density, kukunin mo naman si gravity. So, ang gagamitin mo dyan ay sino? So, specific gravity, which is 0.82, times mo sa 1,000 para makuha yung density, times mo sa 9.81. Times mo dito sa iyong volume flow rate. At yan ang iyong magiging weight flow rate. So, itong 4.7124, which is your volume flow rate, times mo saan? Sa 9.81, times mo sa 0.82, times mo sa 1,000, that would result to 3.7907 Newton per second. So, yan yung magiging weight flow rate mo. Kaya nga sabi ko sa inyo, kahit wala si 30 mm na hole, wala yung bearing. Kasi incompressible. Ano man ang maging butas niyan, gaano man kalaki ang maging butas niyan sa outlet mo, yun at yun pa din ang lalabas na weight flow rate. So may iba lang yan kung may friction, kung halimbawa ay may certain type of orifice at kailangan mo siyang i-take into consideration, doon mo lang magagamit si 30 mm na outlet. Pero kung yan ay incompressible, isa lang yan, no matter what, kung ano maging butas sa labas, kung ano yung pumasok, equal pa rin siya sa lalabas in terms of time. Okay? Question or clarification. Ba ako'y imik-imik, wala naman palang makikinig. May tanong po ba? Paraise nga po ng hand kung walang tanong. Baka ako'y wala kausap. Ako'y wala nang naririnig, ha? Okay. Meron pa namang 27 out of 35. Sige. So, let us continue. So, more than half pa naman ang gising. Okay? So, sunod na problem. So, parang isang problem na yata ito. Isa na nga. So, yan. Last number. Last number na nga yata ito. So, water flows at a rate of 20 liters per second from a cylindrical tank through a pipe and a nozzle shown in the figure. Determine the velocity at section MN and OPN at the end of the nozzle. So, ibig sabihin, ano daw ba yung velocity dito? Ano ba yung velocity dito at sa dulo? So, technically speaking, all the answers here are independent. Bakit independent? Kasi nga, as what I have explained a while ago, no matter how large the diameter is of your outlet, if it is incompressible and it is an ideal fluid, wala po yung bearing. Equal ang magiging flow rate. Kung ano yung pumasok, equal yung lumabas. Which is dito sa problem na to, that is 20 liter per second. No matter kung gaano kalaki yung butas. 20 liter per second at 20 liter per second. So kung malaki yung butas, mabagal yung flow ng tubig. Pero kung maliit yung butas, syempre, bibilis yung daloy ng tubig. Pero yung dami ng tubig na nalabas, same lang. Kasi mabagal yung isa, malapad, yung isa naman ay manipis pero mabilis. So, ibig sabihin, in time, same at same lang din yung may incurred mo na number of volume. So, ibig sabihin, ano ba ang formula natin ng velocity? Eh, di ba ang ating volume flow rate is velocity times surface area. So, ibig sabihin, velocity is equal to flow rate over surface area. So, itong flow rate na to, i-divide mo sa area. Kung ano yung area nitong MN, doon yon. Yun yung velocity. Pag dinivide mo naman yung 20 doon sa area ng OP, yun ang velocity dito. Pag naman dinivide mo yung 20 liter din sa 7.5 centimeter, yun ang velocity dito. So, ibig sabihin, they are independent with each other. Okay? So, let us check as the solution. So, sabi ko nga sa inyo, it is simply the volume flow rate divided by the area. Okay? So, yung volume flow rate natin is 20 liter per second. I-convert natin yung liter. Alam natin that 1,000 liter is 1 cubic meter. So, that would result to 0.02 cubic meter per second. So, pag yung velocity sa MN, itong volume flow rate mo, i-divide mo sa area sa MN. Ang diameter kay MN ay 1.6. So, ibig sabihin, pi d squared over 4, makukuha mo tong area to. So, 0.02 divided by 2.0106. So, ito yung magiging velocity at MN. So, sunod. Sa pipe V2 naman, so sa OP, yung manipis na buta, mas manipis. So, ibig sabihin, same lang yung volume flow rate mo, 0.02 meter cube per second, i-divide mo lang sa area. 15 cm ang diameter, so pi d squared over 4. So, 0.15 squared times pi over 4. You would result in this area, 0.02 meter cube per second divided by 0.0177 meter squared. So, ito na yung magiging volume flow rate nyo. Velocity pala, sorry. Same lang ang volume flow rate. Last but not the least, yung 7.5 centimeters. So, ibig sabihin, dito, mababago lang uli yung area. So, from 0.15, magiging 0.075 squared pi over 4. So, pag nakuha mo yung area na yon, 0.02 divided by yung area, makukuha mo yung velocity, which is 4.5271. And if makikita ninyo, it is inversely proportional. Paano pong inversely proportional? At a constant volume flow rate, habang lumalaki yung butas, bumabagal yung bilis ng tubig, yung velocity. Habang lumiliit yung butas, bumibilis ang daloy ng tubig. Example yun is a hose. Diga ang hose, pag tinakluban mo yung kalahati, sirit na. Kasi, ibig sabihin, napipigilan yung pagdalo niya. Ang flow rate naman, ang volume flow rate, isa. Ibig sabihin, pag kinalhati mo yung butas, sisirit niya ng malakas or ng mabilis, mas lalayo. Kasi, kaya lumalayo, kasi mabilis yung velocity. Pero pag yan halimbawa mo, ay inalis mo yung pinipigil mo, syempre, mas lalaki yung butas, mas babagal yung flow rate. Kaya, di ba, pag tinatamad kayo magdilig, anong ginagawa? Tinatakluban lang yung kalahati ng hose para umabot dun sa malayo. Kasi bumibilis yung velocity. Habang bumibilis yung velocity, lumalayo yung dinadaluyan ng tubig. Okay? So, yun po yung sa ating first part. So, nandyan yung madaling part, yung incompressible. Humihirap yan pag nagiging compressible na. Okay? So, pag yun nagkakaroon na tayo ng tsaka pag tinetake na into consideration yung pressure, yung height, dyan. Dyan na po yan, sasaya. But for the meantime, ito muna tayo sa incompressible. Question or clarification? May nag-raise pala ng hand, sorry. May tanong po ba? So, madali lang naman po yung first part. So, sumasaya po ay sa second part. Question or clarification? May tanong po ba? Hoy, siguradong walang tanong. Baka may walang tanong, walang sagot, ha? So, next week, since una ang face-to-face natin, I will repeat. Sa inyong face-to-face next week, kindly bring the materials para makapag-umpisa na kayo na gawin ang inyong activity number 2. So, pag wala sa next week, Thursday, di tanggalin na lang sa grupo, mag-individual na sa activity 2. Oh. Okay? So, para naman talagang may ambag ang everyone. So, ibig sabihin, mag-planning na din kayo. Ano ba yung magiging design? Paano ba, di ba ang usapan ko, sino yung pinakamabilis sa buong batch? So, 9 groups yon. O sino yung pinakamabilis sa buong batch? Exempted sa finals. So, kung exempted siya sa finals, tapos mataas yung activity niya, so technically, parang sinabi namin, sure, pasa na yung mabibilis. So, ibig sabihin, ano yung magiging design ng crane ninyo para maging mabilis? Yan po yun. So, i-design nyo, ano ba yung magiging syringe namin para maging mabilis? Okay, and so on. And so, okay? So, question or clarification? Ano ba yung liquid na gagamit